Thank you very much for visiting my channel. If not difficult, like and subscribe to my channel to always be aware of events. Thank. Putin's blundering forces have shot down their own helicopter in Ukraine after it mistakenly started firing at its own troops. The Kar-52 Alligator helicopter, which costs an estimated £12 million, was gunned down in Kherson, Ukraine's general staff revealed. The military bosses joked it was a gesture of goodwill from the invading forces. They returned fire and shot down one of the choppers in what is just the latest embarrassing blow for Putin's men. Just last week, Russia shot down its own £35 million Su-34M fighter jet in Ukraine. They reported that 3 of the helicopters were flown over the occupied region and started to shoot at the Russian troops stationed below. Soldiers were trying to target the US-supplied HIMARS rocket launchers, which have wreaked havoc since they were given to the defending forces. But instead they shot the bomber, which fell from the skies over Alkesk, in Luhansk. Video of the wreck on the ground emerged the following day and revealed the words "Russian Aerospace Forces" written down the side of the aircraft. It comes as Ukrainian artillery hit a strategic bridge essential for Moscow to supply its forces, using a US-supplied precision rocket system. The Ukrainian military struck the Antonisky Bridge across the Dnieper River in southern Ukraine late Tuesday, the deputy head of the Moscow-appointed administration for the Kherson region. Kirill Stremusov said. He said Wednesday the bridge was still standing but its deck was pierced with holes, preventing vehicles from crossing. The 0.9-mile bridge sustained serious damage in Ukrainian shelling last week, when it took multiple hits. It was closed for trucks but had remained open for passenger vehicles until the latest strike. Ukrainian forces used US-supplied HIMARS multiple rocket launchers to hit the bridge, Stremusov said. The HIMARS system has precision strike capability and has added a more modern technological edge to Ukraine's dated military assets. The HIMARS have a longer range, a much better precision and a faster rate of fire compared with Soviet-designed Smerk, Uragan and Tornado multiple rocket launchers used by both Russia and Ukraine.